On our special annual Tony Broadway broadcast here on Dave's Gone By, delighted to have a friend who's been with us many, many times, either playing our Today, Yesterday trivia quiz or certainly appearing on these Tony shows as a theater expert. She is a theater critic. In fact, she is the historian for the Drama Desk. She's also the co-host of Two on the Aisle, which you can watch on both YouTube and Manhattan Neighborhood Network. She's Leslie Hoban Blake, and she had a bit of a tumble yesterday, but she's with us. Leslie, how you feeling?
I like the tumble. I love that word. It sounds like one of the shows I'm going to talk about with the slow thing down the staircase, right? That's a tumble. I took a fall, but that's anyway. I'm fine. I'm going to get an MRI when we finish talking.
Okay,
Actually,
she's getting an MRI and she's going to the theater tonight, which is quite
yes,
wonderful.
that's right.
The
That's right.
commitment.
Get
So
up and go again. That's what you have to do.
Leslie is here to talk about director of a musical. So let me read out the nominees, which are Shahim Ali for Buena Vista Social Club, Michael Arden for Maybe Happy Ending, David Cromer for Dead Outlaw, Christopher Gattelli for Death Becomes Her, and Jamie Lloyd for Sunset Boulevard. So, Leslie, the floor is yours.
I have to say that I truly love both on and off Broadway. I thought Rahim Ali did a phenomenal job. I wish that he had done half as well with Goddess as he did with Buena Vista, um, which I just happened to see. It's a marvelous show and should be seen. Maybe Happy Ending is one of the most darling shows. Someone said it's one of the sweetest shows they ever saw, and it's not often one says sweet about a show, but it is. It is very sweet. But and I haven't seen Dead Outlaw, so I can't really talk about it. I didn't see it off Broadway. I didn't see it on Broadway, so that's my loss, I guess. I have to be honest with you. I don't. Well, anyway, so I have something to say about Jamie Lloyd and Chris Gattelli, and that's what I really want to talk about.
Sure.
Um, I'm not sure that any of these are my favorite that I'm talking about, but um, it's Jamie Lloyd's experimental, stripped down version of Sunset Boulevard versus Chris Gattelli's absolutely traditional, overstuffed, big wigs, big dresses, lots of lights and music and sets and more extreme. The extremes of musical. The stripped down, nothing but the music and the person doing it. The costumes are all the same. It's black and white. It's very, very stark, I think would be the word for Sunset Boulevard, as opposed to Chris Gattelli's throwing everything at the wall, and if it didn't stick, he picks it up and throws it again. It's a wonderful show. They are both wonderful in their own ways. I came out feeling fantastic. If a musical makes my heart race and makes me walk a little bit off the ground when I get out, that's my musical. Well, they both did it, and they're both totally different. I will start with Chris Gattelli, who has gone from choreographer to director, and you can see that he knows everything that's going on the stage. He's the Mel Brooks of directors, in the sense that everything is. There's not a step that, no pun intended, there's not a step that isn't exactly right, including that wonderful tumble that actor, whose name I can't think of at the moment, takes. It's not the actress who falls down; it is an actor who does it in her
Okay.
place. But it's a stage adaptation of a film. Nothing original about that. Fabulous female roles and beautifully cast. And all of this is the director's job. I mean, casting is the director's job too. So Megan Hilty and Jennifer Samard, my God, who could be better than the two of them if you couldn't actually get Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn. You see, I think they've done a wonderful job with that. And just the costume for days, and the wigs and the dresses, and Christopher Sieber is wonderful in that
Yeah.
thankless role that it becomes much more than a thankless role with him. I think it was more of a thankless role in the movie than it is in the play. Um, and it's just giant and big and over the top. And I mean, if you have a number called "We Do It for the Gays," you know where you're heading, and you know what's going to happen, and it's just marvelous.
Well, do
And
you think who has the edge in terms of getting the votes?
Well,
Christopher Cattelli
I
or
haven't
Jamie?
finished
Yeah,
talking about Jamie Lloyd, but that's okay. I
yeah.
really didn't mention, but it's okay. I don't know if anybody has the edge. This is like a horse race this time. I really think that it's coming out of the gate, and I don't see a favorite. I don't know what anybody else has said about this. I don't see a favorite. There was a point in time when I thought that maybe Happy Ending was going to be the favorite because it was the critical success of the year. It got the most wonderful reviews from ever. Nobody had a bad thing to say about it. It wasn't like, well, if they did such and such, it would have been better. It was just an amazing outpouring of, but it's not only critics who vote for the Tony. So that's not going to necessarily say anything. They're looking to see what can travel well. I mean, we've been through this before. This is really they took most of the critics out. They put a few back, but it's actors and producers and directors and mostly producers who are interested in making money on these shows and want to be able to take them out on the road. It really has become that's the big deal for any show that wins a Tony knows it's going to have a road a bus and truck tour, if nothing else. Probably better
So,
than. But
Leslie, let me just ask you though, since you're a voter for the Drama Desk and I believe the Outer Critics Circle as well. I mean, which would you vote for director of a musical? Would it be
yeah,
where would you not push the knob?
I know what I voted for. I voted for Sunset Boulevard.
You voted for Jamie Lloyd. Okay.
All of this thinking about because I knew I was going to be talking to you, and I really sat down and thought about it, and I felt that what I saw was more inventive, was totally a director's show in the Jamie Lloyd thing. I mean, everything had to be precise. Everything had to be. There wasn't any interplay with the audience. It was done completely up there. Whereas if something happened or a silly look could be shown, or if anybody slipped or did anything, you could bring the audience in. You could do something with the other show. It's. But Jamie Lloyd's show is Jamie Lloyd's show. It's his vision from top to bottom. And it isn't Chris Cattelli's isn't. It isn't that Saheem Ali's isn't. I would think that Michael Arden's and Saheem Ali's are very specific visions. There's no question. But and I think if I had to go for my second favorite, it wouldn't necessarily be Death Becomes Her. It probably would be the Buena Vista Social Club.
Oh,
I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that so much. And to bring in the Justin Peck, that's his name, right? The choreographer Justin Peck.
I
So
need to check that. For which? For
for,
yeah, Justin
for
Peck and Patricia Delgado for Buena Vista.
yeah.
Yes.
Well, I think so. So Patricia Delgado brought in the Latin flavor or the Latina flavor since she's female, but Justin Peck brought in that muscular. I remember his carousel sailors and the muscular kind of dance that they did. And these actors are dancing in that kind of muscular fashion, the men and the women, everything. Their whole bodies are just throwing themselves around everywhere. And that is the way I think people really dance to this music when nobody's looking, but we're
Well,
looking this time.
last, very quickly, I have a last question for Leslie Hoban Blake, which is if you had to pick one or two shows from the entire season on or off Broadway that were your favorite, what would it be?
One was on and one was off, and neither was a musical. John Proctor is a Villain is the best new play I've seen. I was not nominated for the Pulitzer, and I don't know why. It's such an important piece of work. I'm standing outside. Women, young women, older women, standing around talking. I got into a little group that was talking. It so much touches us that I can't imagine it not being, well, but women, what can I say? And Fatherland, interestingly enough, which was an off-Broadway four-character play about January 6th, the insurrection.
Wow.
And it is based on the actual testimony. And of course, since I saw the play, the guy who was arrested, the guy who turned in his father, the father has been freed because everybody from January 6th was freed.
Yeah.
So, there's just nothing. The world is going to hell in a handbasket. I don't know quite.
And
And I
next
thought,
year, I'm sure they'll have a musical about the Grizzlies. You never know.
and I bet they'll be in it. I mean,
Yes.
that would be good. That
Well,
would be
we are
terrific.
very happy that Leslie Hoban Blake has been in it with us in our Tony Show. Leslie, Be sure to watch her, of course, with Charlie Gross on 2 on the Aisle, and excerpts and also entire episodes on YouTube and Manhattan Neighborhood Network. Leslie, feel great. Have a wonderful summer and on to more theater. Thank you so
Same to
much.
you, Damon. Same to you. Thanks for the plug. Bye bye.
Bye bye.